As we come deeper into the modern world, people seem to have forgotten that sometimes even science can't explain things. One such unexplainable things are called cursed objects. Even the famous actor, James Dean, had come in contact with one and died. But where and how were these cursed objects conjured? And in this modern world, is there still space for such magical artifacts? Before we go to some real-life examples of cursed objects, let us first define its meaning. According to the Bible, cursed objects are things used in idolatry or worshipping of false gods and are connected to the devil. While the Japanese said that cursed objects are things containing bad energy, the point is every belief speaks of a cursed object, but they all signal to one thing. Those objects either bring bad luck, sadness, or even death. In the Roman era, cursed tablets were really popular. During this time, the Romans would write tiny letters on thin sheets of lead. There, they would ask the gods to punish someone who have wronged them, seeking justice. Aside from the Romans' way of writing cursed tablets, objects can be cursed when bad intention is passed on to an item. This can be done with dances, animal or human sacrifices. And in some extreme cases, an object is cursed when a person who owns a thing dies violently, and his anger is placed upon an item at the time of death. And yes, some movies have taken inspiration from this. For the cursed object itself, let us start with something lesser known, which is the Bulgarian mobile number on the screen. Although not an object, this number is considered cursed because all of its previous owners have died. Coming from the Bulgarian cell phone company, Mobiltel, the cursed number used to be owned by the company's CEO himself. But in 2001, that CEO, Vladimir Grashnov, died of cancer. After Vladimir died, the next owner of the number was Konstantin Dimitrov, a famous Bulgarian mobster. Dimitrov was shot dead in Amsterdam soon after. But if you think the curse ended there, think again. The mobile number was then passed on for the third time, this time to Konstantin Dishlev, a known drug lord. But as you can guess, the third owner was killed too, in an assassination. No one knows precisely why the number is cursed. Our guess is sometimes bad luck strikes and continues. Good thing Mobiltel has already suspended the number. Who knows how many more it would kill.
For the next cursed object, we have Arshile Gorky's paintings. Arshile Gorky may be famous for his abstract paintings, but his life had been nothing but bad luck. In 1915, Gorky escaped Turkey with his family to avoid the Armenian genocide. But in the process, his mother died of starvation. Arriving in the United States, Gorky began painting and eventually met his wife. But if you think Gorky's luck has changed for the better, you are wrong. Now a painter, Gorky's barn caught on fire, destroying most of his paintings inside the barn. Soon after, Gorky got cancer, and if that wasn't enough, he got into a car crash that temporarily paralyzed the arm he used for painting. To add insult to literal injury, his wife left him for another man. Depressed, Gorky hanged himself afterward, ending his life. But what happened to Gorky's remaining paintings, you may ask? The ones that didn't get destroyed by the fire. In 1962, Boeing 707, together with 87 passengers, 8 crew members and 15 of Gorky's paintings crashed. Is this perhaps happenstance that caused this? Or because the plane was carrying 15 of Gorky's paintings, Gorky's misfortunes rubbed on them even when he's dead.
The Natural History Museum currently has this cursed jewelry in their possession. But contrary to its name, the Delhi purple sapphire is an amethyst. But where did this jewelry come from? For that, let's go back to India in 1855. During this time, there was an uprising against the British. But not only bloodshed was present, a lot of temples were robbed by people too. One such place is the temple of the god Indra in Kanpur. As you can guess, one of the loots of the robbers is the amethyst, at the time mistaken as a sapphire. Brought to England by a man named Colonel Ferris, the gem seemed to be angered by its removal from the temple. Because of it, the colonel suffered from financial and health bad lucks. When the colonel died, the gem was passed on to his son, who in turn got misfortunes associated with the gem. Fed up with this, the colonel's son gave the gem away to Edward Heron Allen. Edward Heron Allen is a known polymath at the time. A polymath is a person who has deep knowledge of different things. Edward's works even earned him an election as a Fellow of the prestigious Royal Society. This means that Edward Heron Allen is a very rational man. So when a rational man writes a letter about a cursed gem, we tend to believe him. According to Edward's letter, upon getting the gem from the colonel's son, bad luck immediately went to him. To counter such bad luck, Edward had the gem bound in what used to be the ring of an astrologer. And for a while, that seemed to work, until the bad luck started again. In 1902, Edward caved in and finally gave the jewelry to a friend. But even the friend had misfortunes, so the jewelry was then returned to Edward. Strings of other bad lucks had happened since then. Until eventually, Edward's wife bore a daughter. Scared that their daughter will be influenced with bad luck as well, Edward sealed the gem in 7 boxes and wrote a warning letter about it. Furthermore, he instructed his bankers to put it away until 33 years after his death. With all these misfortunes and death surrounding the cursed items, are we to believe them? Or is there some rational explanation behind them? Like with Edward Heron Allen's story, some people say that he might have made up the whole jewelry curse thing, especially since he was an author. But why would he take it that far, even passing a hoax in his death? People who have taken interest in Edward's story researched his family line, and the scary thing is they found similar elements of misfortune with people Edward knew. Was the curse fact or fiction then? There are just some things that people can't explain. You can try all you want, but the question is, at what cost?